It's an interesting question because
or your house inspector, the inspector.
So this is a great question because
Thank you.
all right, so I do want to get into this for a second and say this. I'm a homeowner, Rob. I don't mean to brag. I am a homeowner. You're a homeowner.
Yeah.
There are things that you are supposed to do when you buy a house. One of them is get an inspection.
Yeah.
Now, I always felt like the inspection was a chance for you to figure out what's up in your house. Like they're going to give you all the details, kind of point you in the direction like, hey, this house might have a good price, but you got to replace the roof. You got to do X, Y, and Z. Now, our guy was pretty good. He missed a couple big things.
Yeah.
Biggest thing that he mixed was that we had
the ghosts.
The ghosts.
The ghosts.
And we have really aggressive ghosts too. They're very they're angry ghosts. So so they are tough. But one of the things that they really missed was that our entire house had cloth wiring. And cloth wiring, yes, is
cloth
again
wiring.
Yes. So basically, you know how like wires are sheathed in like plastic, or we look anything that you look at, like it's like this is whatever, it's a plastic in there.
Yeah. Wires have a coating. It's like a plastic coating.
Yes. So this was cloth. It's an old school house, so cloth and cloth wiring. You would imagine around electricity
would be a fire hazard.
Yeah, big time. So we had to get all that out. And so that meant every outlet in our house and every electrical outlet. That was a shocking addition to what we needed to be doing here. And in that moment, I looked at my house. I looked at my the inspector's thing, and I said, "There's nothing in here about the wiring," because somebody came into our house and said, "Oh, you definitely have cloth wiring." I was like, "No, it would be on the inspection report," and it wasn't. And on the bottom of the front page of the inspector's report, it says, the inspector will not be held accountable for basically for anything that is missed or any diagnosis of existing problems, positive or negatively. So it's like he can say, "Hey, you got a bad roof." If you find out that you don't have a bad roof, not his problem.
Yeah.
Or her problem. So yeah, basically inspectors are a scam, I believe, on some level. They're not doing all the deep dive in here. Like they're doing the cursory a look-see to make sure you don't have anything. Although that inspector did catch that our house was not earthquake proof, and that was something that we were able to fix.
I do think it's a hustle. Just so people know that have never watched this before, who are just tuning in, this is not what the show is. It's not Rob and Paul try to tell you how to fix things in your house, although that would be a good show.
I mean, we're like Click and Clack, that NPR show about the car talk. We're car guys. We're just like, we're talking about home repairs all the time.
Now let me ask you a question, Paul, because it's on my mind. I'm looking at your hat, and it looks like there's a Band-Aid underneath the rim of your hat.
It may just be a sticker here.
Well, I would prefer it if you would. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, it would be a cool thing if we could tell people how to fix stuff in their house. That would be
I'll tell you this much. There's a couple things I've learned on this house that I didn't know. Because I also got bamboozled in my old house. I sold my old house, moved into this house. And at one point, one of the realtors who of the person who bought my house said, "Hey, we're sending in the inspector. Can we also send in a blank inspector?" I didn't know what she meant. I said, "Yeah, whatever. Just inspect the house." They can trick you with like additional inspectors. Like they brought in this other inspector who's like, "I don't know. I think there might be mold behind this wall." And then we had to open the wall to prove that there was no mold there or whatever. And it was like to get the price down. Basically, that you can hire these like inspectors to kind of
fake news inspectors.
Yeah, basically to be able to be like, hey, it's this much. So then what we wound up doing was like, well, we'll repair this or we'll go and inspect this. And what a mess. What a mess.
What a mess. Hey, yeah. Look, I sympathize with you. I just don't want people watching this to think that this is all we're going to talk about, because the money, what people pay money for,
yeah,
to watch this show. And by the way, if you're somehow watching this for free, there's been some sort of mistake.
You've made a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to pay for this. This show is the #1 recap of the sitcom Who's the Boss on the
Who's the
internet.
Boss? It is
far.
the only streaming Who's the Boss recap show on Twitch on Thursdays, 5 to 7 Pacific time.
That we're aware of.
Yeah.
Um,
Rob, let's take our first question here. This is from Portable Jeff. Rob, I'm in the middle of installing a circuit breaker. What's my next step? This is a great question. And you always do the electric stuff on the show.
Thanks for your question, Portable Jeff. I am wearing my sort of blue-collar-y construction shirt, so I will take that one. If you're installing the circuit breaker, what you want to do is soak it in lemon juice for a little while, just to kind of get all the shingles and the barnacles off of it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times if that circuit breaker has been shipped over from somewhere else, you know, they put them together in other countries sometimes and they ship them over. They get a little dusty. They get some barnacles on them. Soak it in lemon juice. Get ready to install it. Have a great time. Enjoy your house.
All right, let's get another question on here. It says, Rob and Paul, I hear a horrible wailing throughout the house when the clock strikes midnight. Any suggestions? Well, I can take this one. You got a class 3 vapor. Class 3 vapors are definitely ones that you want to be aware of because they have they're ill-contented vapors, and they are going to cause damage in your house, and they're going to cause damage, mental damage. I remember Rob and I were working in this house in Beechwood Canyon out here.
Oh,
they had a class 3 vapor, and what they will do is implant themselves in your child's brain.
Yeah.
And so you'll start to see differences in your child. They'll start acting a little. Babadook is kind of a great example of that. And so you got to be careful. If you have children, it's going to be a problem. If you don't have children, it'll probably get in the dog. But the dog, it won't make that much of a difference. You may have a couple accidents in the house, but that's about it.
Keep these home improvement questions coming, guys. Because
we got a lot of great ones.
We can fix anything. Paul, what is your what's your stance on screwdrivers? Are you a Phillips guy or a regular screwdriver
Rob,
guy?
I'm so glad you asked this. Look, everyone's going to always say Phillips head is going to be the screwdriver that you need to have because anything can be a flathead. And I'm going to always agree with that. You know, a flathead, you can figure it out. But I'm going to also say something really interesting here. And I think this is what people forget. A flathead can also be a Phillips. You don't have all the grip action on it. You got 2 out of the 4 grip points, but in a pinch, in a jam, and I know that you're always getting a jam up in your you have that beautiful tree house, family house that you're building up in the Ozarks.
Yeah,
I love it, and I know that sometimes you get you're far away from some sort of Home Depot, so you got to use what you got.
Now, I got a question for you about, I know you're a hot tub owner.
Yeah.
And is your hot tub an indoor or outdoor hot tub?
It's a half indoor, half outdoor hot tub. We did one of those jammies where you open up the window kind of like a garage, like a big old garage, and then it's on tracks, 2 tracks, and it will
sort of like the Dallas Cowboy Stadium?
Yes, exactly like that. It's great. It's the way we actually thought about it. And then you just kind of roll out on the track, and then you are out, and you're out in the rain.
Now, let me ask you this. Here's my question about an outdoor hot tub. Are there dangers of, lightning strikes, snakes getting in there with you?
Well, here's the thing. You don't want to keep the tub outdoors at all time. But from what I understand, and this is, again, I'm not a scientist, I'm a home repair guy. But here's the thing. Lightning doesn't strike ultimate relaxation. So that's why I've never heard of anyone getting struck by lightning while getting a massage or in a hot tub. Those, like, lightning is a chill entity, and lightning only strikes people who need a second to chill out.
Great. All right.
So yeah.
Thanks.
Let me ask you a question, Rob.
Oh,
Allen wrench.
Yeah.
Pro, against?
Great question. Well, I'm just going off the chat here. Someone in the chat, oh boy, says I only use a Tim Allen wrench.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
Wow.
I think that's what they're trying to write there. By the way, is Tim Allen where was I? Oh, I was doing an improv show at.
Oh yeah, we did this one together, right? Or no?
No, I I think this is,
We
I
did
don't
a
think
whole
you were
Tim
at this
Allen
one.
riff, didn't we? Oh no, okay. Oh,
I mean, I'm sure we have over the years, but no, this was at Dynasty Typewriter. Someone was
okay.
talking about Tim Allen. Is he like on pills now? I don't know. What's the latest on Tim Allen? I know you
Well, the
guys are
latest on Tim
friends.
Allen is he came back as the Santa Claus. He's a little bit of a right winger. You know, and his show has some controversial opinions. You know, it's
Okay.
a very, you know, a Matt Gates friendly show. Last Man
Okay.
Standing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep. You know,
Well, what was the
we'll
bit? You can't just tease it, and then it was
oh
a
no,
great
that
bit.
was just in the improv show.
So, Rob, I do want to I
I
do want to ask you about this. You went and performed at another improv show. We normally perform together here at Dinosaur. That's our show. You know, so I guess the question is, was it better than Dinosaur? Just answer that right away. You should say, like, was it a better experience, worse experience?
look.
Go for it. Yeah,
I'm sensing.
I just got to write it down.
No, you don't have to write it. Please don't write this down. I don't want
Okay.
there to be a written record of my answers.
Okay.
It's already, you know, you can refer back to this recording.
Okay. Just saying, I got to write it
I
down.
would say this. You know, I love improvising with you. I've performed with you for many years, and I've always had a great time. Sometimes, honestly, if I'm being honest, it is fun to perform with other people, and that's what this was.
100%. No, yeah, I'm just
this was a show. You know, again, I don't want to piss you off, but this was a show with Brian Husky and John Daly and a bunch of funny people. I'd have to look.
A really funny crew of people, like a really, really solid crew. And that's actually produced by our friend Patrick Cotnoir.
Yes.
Patrick Cotnoir also is going to be producing the George Lucas Talk Show Academy Awards stream that is happening here on this channel, I believe, simultaneously with the Academy Awards. So the George Lucas Talk Show will be live on Friend Zone this Sunday. Big announcement. And by the way, someone said that they were there at the stream at Dynasty, and you were fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much, Water Dax Jordan. Yeah, Tim Simons did monologues for the show from Veep, and he's
just worked with Tim. He's great.
He's very fun. Hey, this is not a competition about, you know, who works with whom. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about that.
It's not about that at all.
There's enough comedy for all of us.
You know what I'm realizing, Rob? There's not enough comedy for all of us, as a matter of fact. And I think if you're in the business like we are, you are mourning the loss of probably one of the funniest things out there this week. You know, this week it was just terrible to hear that our good friend, the creator of Dilbert, that's it. They let him go.
Yeah, he got canceled, man. And, you know, it's tough, man. You know, great guy.
Great dude. Yeah.
Quality guy. And also, look, man, say what you want about, what's our friend's name who does Dilbert?
Scott something, but you know, I'll tell you. I mean, I'll tell you. Sometimes I don't
he's just funny. You know, as far as comedy, pound for pound.
Adams. I mean, we like pound
for pound. His shit is the funniest, man. I mean, look, say what you want about his beliefs, his terrible racist beliefs. The guy is shooting 3-pointers in the comedy world and has been for years.
I think a lot of people don't realize this, that, you know, when you talk to comedians and you say, you know, who inspired you, who are the people that you were, you know, wanting to be when you grew up. And to me, it was always Dilbert. It was like, it wasn't to be Dilbert. It was to be as pointing and insightful as Dilbert. We all know that.
Let me ask you a question. because I know you read the funny papers. You like to wake up early, get yourself a nice steaming hot cup of coffee, and sit down
It can't be hot enough. Some people say, Paul, you're gonna burn the roof of your mouth, and I do. I often do burn the roof of my mouth.
Well, you don't have any feeling. You don't have any feeling on the roof of your mouth anymore.
No, but the way that I kind of justify that is because I'm laughing so hard that the burn is okay.
So, I mean, look, like we said, you can cancel a guy if you want, but you can't. You cannot erase the legacy of this guy's comedy mind. I mean, yeah, you're right, Paul. I mean, people always talk about what's influenced you. You know, Saturday Night Live, or Mel Brooks, or like great comedy movies, or TV shows throughout the years. It's Dilbert. If you're being honest, it's Dilbert. I mean, let's just take a look at some of the hard laughs
of Dilbert. I mean, 100%, Rob. So this is a classic Dilbert. Dilbert obviously works in an office. He captures all of our points of view. Some people want to just go like, hey, did The Office rip off Dilbert? And the answer is yes.
I mean,
Dilbert did it first, did it best, and is still doing it. But
I
here we go.
I heard Steve Carell has to pay Scott Adams.
Wow.
Every day he has to write him a check. Let's hear. I'll read. I'll read the
woman
male,
or Dilbert. Who would you like to read?
I'll read the woman.
Okay, great.
And I'm not going to do like a sexist voice.
No. You're just going
to worry about that. Because it's International Women's Day, the day after.
Day after International Women's Day.
Do you have a few minutes?
Okay. Yeah. Can I say one thing?
Yes.
This week it was International Women's Day, and I salute every international woman that I know. But truly, what a great day. But what I love is the way that people celebrate it. And I was at the basketball game last night, and for the third quarter, they brought a woman on to do play-by-play with the two guys who were doing play-by-play to celebrate International Women's Day. For one quarter, of the 4 quarters, are like, and to celebrate International Women's Day.
Joking? Are you joking?
It was.
Oh my God.
It was one of the most bonehead things I've ever seen, to be like, we want to make sure that we are saluting women, as today is International Women's Day. And for the third quarter, we are joined by color commentary.
Oh, I'm sure if we really looked around on social media, like there'd be all these Republican like senators who would be like, Happy International Women's Day, and then fucking taking away abortion. Anyway.
All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, go back to our Dilbert reading. Here
we go. And again, this is, say what you want. This shit is funny and will live forever.
Let's
You guys decide. Do you have a few minutes to review my first draft?
Yes.
I ask because usually you say you're too busy to help.
Well, I said yes this time.
That's funny because usually you're all, I'm so busy, but today you have all the time in the world.
Today I'm not busy.
I find that suspicious.
Take yes for an answer.
That's not how innocent people talk.
Wow.
I mean, look, if we're gonna, I just don't know what comedy will do without Dilbert. I don't know where.
Well, I mean,
where do we go from here?
I mean, what I love about.
Can we do one more? Is there another?
Yeah,
one?
we got a few more. I just want to point out what I love about that is, Dilbert does point out something that's so relatable, that women can be very annoying.
So annoying, and their hairstyles are over the top.
It's like, hey, just take the yes, like just take the win, but this is definitely, a lot of people say, hey, Scott Adams, he's a frustrated white man, and he's doing he's really getting it. All right, he tells it like it is. All right,
he calls them like he sees them.
All right, here we go.
Should we do it again?
Yeah, I'll read the first guy, you read the second guy, okay?
Okay.
Remember, ASOC, you don't find luck, you go out and make it.
I feel your wisdom rewiring my brain and turning me into a super employee.
It doesn't usually work this fast.
Please double my workload, you beautiful monster.
Wow. No, I like that. And I can't quite tell. Is it sarcastic? because he looks like he's possessed in the last one.
The thing is, man, you mean his horns or the
No,
little guy?
no. The guy is like is he brainwashed?
I think he has been brainwashed. Yeah. The thing is, man, is that Scott, what's his name? Scott Adams. He's made, imagine the fucking money he has made off of this fucking garbage. Like, not funny at all. Like, these aren't even remotely, I mean, whatever. These are two. I'm sure there's got to be one.
But I got one for you. Here you go. How about this
one somewhere, right?
Starting today, all passwords must contain letters, numbers, doodles, sign language, and squirrel noises. Oh,
look, what people come here for, Paul, let me remind you, is the Who's the Boss content.
Well, I want to talk.
People need to know the number one Who's the Boss recap show.
The number one show. But before we get into that, Rob, I do want to show you one thing. This is actually something that I feel like is not going to be controversial at all. So last night I was saying I was at the Clippers game last night.
Why did did he drop the Clippers?
No.
Okay.
That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a Carl Tart, our good friend Carl Tart, put your T's in the chat for Carl.
Put some T's
in the chat. Make sure you're watching Grand Crew. Grand Crew is a great show. Nicole Byer, Carl Tart, created by Phil Augusta Jackson. It is on Peacock on Friday nights, or NBC, I should say, and it's streaming on Peacock. If you've not watched the show, it's really, really good. T's in chat, Carl Tart. But I think they were just doing that for part of their promotion for the show, because Carl on the show does wear Clippers gear at least once or twice per episode. He's the only person repping the Clippers at all times. So definitely check out Grand Crew. Give that show some attention. Tell your friends about it. But last night I was at the Clippers game and I went by myself. Sometimes I go to the Clippers game by myself because my son's too tired.
Was my phone busy? Did you?
I don't know if you would want to go see a basketball game. You're not on my list of people. I'm like, oh, does Rob want to go see a game? If you do, I would love to go.
Serious?
I don't know that you go like that. You like,
I played Little League basketball like when I was.
It's Little League baseball. That's why I did. That's why.
Well, whatever. I played basketball when I was in like junior high school, whatever that's called. It's not pro. I don't know what you call it.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to come. I'll invite you. Now, let me tell you this.
I can almost dunk. Almost.
Wow. Rob, I actually invited you to a very cool event coming up, I
saw that. If I'm in town, I want to come to it.
I am hosting a private screening of Dungeons and Dragons, a movie that I have no involvement with whatsoever. But my good friend at Paramount basically said, "Do you want to just host the screening?" and gave me a free movie theater to do it. So I think that'll be fun. Okay. So last night I'm at the Clippers game. By myself, which sometimes I do because I make the call at the last second. Like,
and what did the paparazzi do when you show up by yourself?
They're gonna write all the stories they're gonna want. But this is why I come on this show, to set the record straight. I always set the record straight here. So I go to sit in my seat, and I have half season tickets there. Not to brag. And
you say half season?
Half season.
Okay.
Because, look, let's be realistic. I can go to half of the games. And I have seats 9 and 10. And I sit in my seat 9, but I see someone's in seat 10. Now I get caught in this moment where I'm like, I don't want to make a deal. I don't have a 10. Like, I don't have another person. So I don't want to move this person over. But at the same time, I'm like, I did technically pay for that seat. That is a paid seat. I have it. It's mine.
And someone was just, I was reading the comments. Someone was in the other seat, you said.
In the seat. Yeah. So I have seats 9 and 10. I got there. Someone's in seat 10.
I don't like
But I don't have somebody else. So I'm like, do I say anything? And then in my mind, I'm going through this whole bit, or I'm like, does that make me a Karen? Am I complaining if I don't have anybody? But then I'm also like, it's nice to have the open seat next to me. I have a little bit more room. I did pay for it. It's I bought this. It's mine. I'm the owner of that seat.
But I mean, what would you do? Move them out of the seat and then let Jesus
I would just say these are my seats. Like, I mean, they're my seats. And if you're in the if you're in the stadium, you have a seat.
Okay.
Like, he was just in my seat. And sometimes that happens. You get to the game late. People are in your seats. You got to kick them out. I tell you, I had a very interesting interaction. A really great executive that I work with had him and his family were in my seats. And I went with my dad. Steven Spielberg, Mr. Fableman. And I had to kick an executive that I work with out of my seats. That felt very awkward to me. But that I had to do because, there you go. But this guy was in my seat, so I didn't say anything. I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm like, he had 2 kids there too. So I was like, I'm just going to let this guy do his thing. What does it make a difference? Maybe I can't open my legs as wide as I would like, whatever. But
I know you like to do that. I know you like to sit down, like really
get it out. Yeah.
Spread out. Yeah.
So, I just was like, I'm not going to say a word, but this guy is like very aggressive, but having a fun time being aggressive. Not that he was funny, but he was just definitely up and around and yelling a lot.
And let me ask you this. How old are his kids?
Young. They're younger than like Vanilla Ice and Twanch.
Okay.
Cute kids, sweet kids, well-behaved kids.
I mean, I only ask because if you beat up a dad in front of his kids at a certain age, they won't even remember, but then if they're old enough, they will. Because I beat up a lot of dads in front of their kids, and I try to always make sure the kids are really young, so
well, I mean, you have to, because you need to imprint on them early, kind of like the way that Jacob imprinted on his, the wolf thing, I guess. Somebody said Scheer spreading. Yeah, look, I'm not a person that does that in normal situations, but if I have an open seat, I'm going to definitely get more comfortable. I'm going to take up the other cup holder. I own it. I bought it. That was mine.
Okay.
So this guy is excited during the game.
Yeah.
Now, multiple times during the game, they're
cheering for the Clippers.
Cheering for the Clippers. On the same page as me, happy to be there with him.
Because that would make a difference, right?
If he was cheering for another team, I think I would have told security. Yeah, I do. I would have. I don't want to sit next to that. Yeah. And cheering, doing all the stuff. And I think oftentimes when I come solo, people think that I'm stealing a seat. So I also feel like he looked at me like he eyed me up and down when I sat in that seat. Like, do you belong here? I'm like, yeah, these are my seats, and I've never seen you, so I know that these are not your seats because I know who sits next to me.
Yeah.
Season tickets things. And so long story short, they bring out the t-shirt cannon, but they don't even, it's literally this device. It's like a giant, what you would shoot cannonballs out of from a pirate ship. And it's got multiple t-shirts and they're flying out. Boom, 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 boom. Now, the thing about these t-shirts are A, they suck. B, they're always XXL. So I'm not getting too excited about catching a t-shirt. My son Gus, it's the best thing in the world for my son Gus to catch a t-shirt. T-shirts that are larger than his entire body.
Sure.
But again, right, so this guy, I'm going to pop a picture here, is excited. This is him. I blurred out his child's face. This is him. I'm going to take off Scheer spreading here. Sorry. So this is him cheering, getting up, going for it. Now they start firing these t-shirts. It's a break in the game, right? So I'm just like, I'm texting, there's nothing going on the court besides t-shirts. And all of a sudden, Rob, I don't know what happens, but I'm on the ground. I am on the ground because this guy jumped to get a t-shirt and launched his body over me with such force that it knocked me out of my seat in an attempt to grab a shirt. So I'm like, text. Whoa. And a giant body is over me. And I'm just like, and my reaction to it was so benign. I was like, boom, I'm on the ground. I'm just like pushing him up. I'm like, okay. Just getting him up. It was shocking. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't know it was going to come, but I was knocked out of my seat.
Did he
by this man
apologize?
He did. He said, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I had to get those t-shirts."
Okay.
And I said to him, I go, those t-shirts aren't worth jumping over somebody for.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say yes, fun dad. He was a fun dad. Kids had a good time, but I've never seen anyone a foul ball. Absolutely. There's a t-shirt come flying out of a t-shirt cannon, for an XXL shirt that you're never gonna wear, and it's not even a cool.
Yeah. I mean, in his defense, he's there with his kids. His kids, it's fun. He doesn't know that the shirts are not quality shirts, And as long as he apologized, it reminds me of I can't beat that story, but it just reminded me of something that happened to me a long time ago when I was flying. Have you ever had this happen where you get to your seat on a plane and there's someone in your seat?
Yeah.
And, whatever. It wasn't a huge deal. I get to my seat. This is a long time ago when I lived in New York, and I was flying from New York to LA on JetBlue. No big deal. I can afford it. And I get to my seat, and I had paid for a window seat because I wanted to sleep. And I get there, and there's a woman in my seat. And the only seat left was the middle seat. And I didn't want to be a dick about it. So I sat in the middle seat, and I thought, oh, who is this person? And I looked to see who it is, and it's Molly Ringwald.
What?
Yeah, it was Molly Ringwald who took my seat. And I thought, what is this is a long time ago, before, I don't know, before
whatever.
Instagram.
It was after Pretty in Pink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But so I sat in my seat, and I thought, okay, I'll just fucking eat it and let Molly Ringwald enjoy the view of the country, and I'm not going to be upset. And then I thought, well, I'm sure at some point I'll come up with something fun to talk about, and we'll hit it off, and we'll become good friends. I wasn't married at the time. I, thought we'll probably end up having little red-haired babies.
Oh wow, you were planning
I was really planning a whole future together. And then she fell asleep, and I never had the courage to talk to her. She wouldn't remember this. I never mentioned it to her. She doesn't know who I am.
Wait, okay. Well,
so this is a lot like your story.
But I will say this: it's a tricky situation when you have purchased something that you want, right? Like it's like you need, and someone's there, and we all have seen the videos. We have all experienced these moments, and we don't want to be these people. And I think it's good on us that we aren't. And you can see how these people can get crazy like that. Did you see the video of the movie director this week?
No.
Oh, let's see if I can pull this up, because this is one of the craziest things I've seen. This movie director loses it at a Mendocino's farm.
Oh, no. Is it someone that we know?
We've been trying to figure out who it is on a group chat. It looks like he might direct commercials, but let me see if I can pull up, because it may be worth just showing it to you, because
this is in LA. In LA.
Okay. In LA, and it's hold on one second. I'm just gonna see if I can grab it here. It was to me like a okay. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my gosh. Okay, one second. All right, I think I got it. All right, hold on. See ya. And this is my issue. Let's see. Oh, geez, it's hard to pull up TikTok on here, but I think I can do it. All right, hold on. I'm gonna get it. Jeez, give me 1 second. Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good when it happens. But yeah, we've been actively trying to figure out who this director is. So maybe you actually will have a good look on this person.
Are they going off in a in what way are they going?
Not a racist way, so it's more fun. Okay. hold on one second. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, Rob. I'm keeping us in the in that zone where
no worries.
Oh man. Oh gosh, darn it. Man, this is why I can't. This is the thing. I love TikTok. I can never go back and find the thing that I want to share. It's like it's gone so fast. Like the other day, my mom said to me, she was like, "Oh my God, did you see the video of the dog on TikTok?" And and in one sentence, she explained to me everything that she knew about the internet and I knew everything that she didn't know. The fact that she said, "Did you see the video of the dog on TikTok?" I was like, "This is
classic.
This is a wild moment for all of us." This is now I'm getting closer.
Well, I mean, what's the best case scenario? The best case scenario is you're going to show this video and I'm going to know who it is. And then
I would love you to know who it is. I just want you to see this one moment where what he says, because I think your reaction to it might be worthy of it. And if I can't find it in the next second, I will.
What is he pissed about?
Oh, here it is. I finally found it. Okay. Now I just got to bring it over to this computer. All right. So this is a not now. Chomp baby on TikTok. Okay, here we go. Got it. You'll see. This is it. I hope this is going to be good. Okay. Does your wife watch a lot?
If people are curious about the weather in Vancouver, I can give you a weather update for Vancouver, Canada. It's a little bit cloudy and a little bit gray.
So it's very early though there. It looks nice.
Well, it's the same time, Paul. We're just we're in the same time zone.
Oh, but it looks like it's darker here.
Well, I'm further north. I think it gets darker later here.
Okay. Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
And Rob, you're shooting, I guess, a legitimate pornography movie, right? Is that what?
Well, this is the hotel room where I audition actresses for potential parts in potential movies that have not been greenlit yet. You know what I mean? Like I say, hey, why don't you come up and we'll do like a cold reading and see how you do, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I really, you should be canceled any minute. All right.
About that.
I won't. Okay. I got it, Rob. I got it all ready to go. Here we go. This is worth it, everybody. This is worth it, America. Okay. So here it is. This is our movie. It says Los Angeles movie director completely loses cool after harassing staff.
I'm busy too, dude. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
He says, "What do you do for a living?"
You just fucking threatened me. You just fucking threatened me. You stay right here, bro. Yeah, you did. You said I'll fucking kick your ass outside. Stay right here. Stay right here. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You're a problem. Yeah, bro. Good. You better just sit here, bro.
Here it goes.
Go. Let's go fucking back to set. Fucking loser. I made $300,000
Did you hear what he said? He's like, I got to go back to set and shoot a fucking film. I make $300,000, you fucking loser.
It looks a little bit like alcoholic Mark Ruffalo.
Yes, and by the way, Buttonhead, you're wrong. The comments say his name is Mitchell Rizzo and directed One Night in Paris. That is One Night in Paris, I believe. Oh, wait a second. I thought that was Forget Paris. Wait, is that really the guy who directed the Paris Hilton sex tape? Wait a second. Somebody's got to figure that out if that's true.
Wait, well, I was confused the whole time. What was going on?
I think basically this guy lost his mind because somebody told him, chill out, man. Because he was like yelling at the Mendocino staff. And then it got heated, like very, very heated, very, very quickly.
Okay.
But I think what was so great was that the first thing he said is like, what do you do? What do you do? He was so excited to have his trump card be that he is a director. And then to leave on the note of, I make $300,000. And by the way, nothing to sneeze at. I'm not making fun of anyone who makes $300,000. It's a nice chunk of change, but it's not the chunk of change you want to like. You can't like really like spike a football down on that one. Like, I don't think it's got to be a lot higher.
In the directing world, you would not be like, fuck you, man, I make 300,000.
Right.
I'm not shitting on that.
I'm not shitting on $300,000, but it's not enough to like, it's not like enough to be like, boom. Like, if he says I make $1 million a day, still dicky.
Yeah.
But if you say I make $300,000 a year, I would argue that it could be an attainable amount to some people. Like whatever. It's a weird number to use. It's not quite high enough to be intimidating, but it is higher than normal.
I mean,
it's a weird number.
You're also, whatever. You're grabbing fast food in a fast food restaurant. Like,
hey. Mendocino Farms, not fast food, Rob.
I just texted you something. I don't know if you can show this or not. And I don't know the story behind it, but
yes, I've heard about this. I don't even get this up.
It's a Taco Bell guy. I think the story is that he got hit by some female customers because they ran out of Crunchwrap Supremes. So then, but the video starts with him like shoving these girls, which is obviously not cool. But
this is the issue that I always take.
There's a lot of fighting going on in fast food restaurants. I think also basically, I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether there are just
more
cameras everywhere, so everyone's filming everything all the time, or are we really losing our shit? I mean, like on planes, like there's so much shit on planes, like all the time.
Well, this is like the issue. I think, it's like, I don't want to be a part of like a useless argument. And I feel like people are going off and feeling like they're expecting things that they shouldn't be expecting. Like I saw one video of a man who deposited a check at the bank, but because he had taken out so much money, he had overdraft fees. So they couldn't give him any money because the check that he deposited covered the overdraft fees. And then he climbed the wall to try to break into the other side of the bank to like strangle that teller.
What?
And to me, that's just a person doing their job. That bank teller's not taking your money. That, these people who work at these companies that work behind a desk, they're getting yelled at. Like, you see people take out their phones immediately. Like, I'm glad that there is like some defense on this. Like, like the people have like a chance to, get some justice for the people who have to get all this shit from people. But it is wild.
I felt bad because first of all, no one's on Twitter anymore. Like no one cares. Like, I was trying to rent a place on Vrbo.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't, it was at the transaction. Like I was putting in my credit card and it kept like kicking back my credit card and it couldn't do it. And so I called Vrbo and finally get someone on the phone and they're like, oh, are you using Safari? You should use Chrome. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know why I'm in Safari. Let me use Chrome. Again, doesn't work. So I have to call them back, get disconnected. Long story short, I spent like an hour trying to rent this fucking, house on Vrbo. And finally, the woman who was so nice, some young kid, was like, why don't you just try to get in touch with the people directly? Like that was her solution. She was like, I don't know what's going on with our computer right now. Like, I don't know what's up with our system. Just contact. There's a way on Vrbo where you can just write the people and then they'll write you back. And she just sort of like told me how to do it. And I was like, well, why am I fucking paying this
company
$800 booking fee on Verbo? I'll just call these guys directly.
Well, Rob, I had the same issue. I had the same issue with my agent. I asked my agent, I said, hey, maybe next time, can you find out some information about this? And they said, you know what? That's a great idea. Why don't the next time you call that person, you ask them? And I was like, well, hold on a second. I was like, well, then if I'm just doing it, then why do I need you to do the thing? It was a crazy moment where I was like, yeah, I guess I can do that.
Well, long story short, on this Verbo thing, I ended up just blasting them on Twitter. I was like, hey, Verbo, like, your site is trash. It is garbage. I'm trying to give you money. You know, you're not going to, and I was like, you're not going to respond to this. Cause one, I literally, I think there's like maybe 100,000 people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like there's no one's on Twitter. And then they wrote me back the next day and they were like very apologetic. But by that time I had reached out to the people, and the people, someone's behind you.
Twanch, get out of here, Twanch.
Anyway,
you can't use the toilets in there, Sammy, and you can't use the sink. Okay.
What was that language?
He said, I'm not using the ding dang toilet. Well, but this, you know, it's funny that you took out the Twitter to kind of make your point known. I did the same thing. I flew on a JetBlue flight. I like JetBlue.
I don't mind going after corporations. Like
no,
I'm always nice to the people on the phone. I'm always like, I know you're just doing your job. You're
100%.
But like the company, like I will put them on blast if I can.
I flew on JetBlue, and
was Molly Ringwald on your flight?
Molly was not on my flight, but I will tell you this much: it was it was a rare flight, and I don't always do this, but I like upgraded to Mint because I was doing like 3 flights in 1 week, and this is going to be an overnight flight, and I was like, I'm doing Mint. I'm going to treat myself to Mint. And I was excited to have like a nice flight. I've never really done that before. And I get there and there's no seat. Like the seat had been deflated. I didn't even know that they could be inflated. They were literally like the seat was deflated. And I call over the steward and I say like, hey, I'm sorry, the seat is deflated. And it was like I was sitting on 2 iron rods. It was really like weird. And I was like, hey, is there anything I can do? The seat's deflated. And they're like, flight's all full. You just gotta sit there. And I was like, okay. But now I'm also like, wait, I paid more money than normal. And I got like, there's nothing I can do. And they're like, nothing. And so I was like really irritated, and but I flew there. I sat on the metal bars for 6.5 hours, and it was super. Like it was like when I got up, I was like, oh, this really was rough. And I got home, I tweeted about it, and they reached out to me and they said, we're going to give you $100 credit. And I said, well, I did pay X amount of dollars. I had a terrible flight. I would like maybe a free ticket. I'm trying to get that out. And they go, they write back. They were like, we'll give you $200 total. End of story. And I was like, end of story. Like, and they were like, if you didn't want to fly on you could have gotten off the plane. I'm like, and then this it was a weird, and it was like, why are you being so confrontational? But to end it by going end of story. And I was the one wrong. That wasn't even making I wasn't asking for like, oh, now I need 2 round trip tickets. And I literally was like, can I get like the price of my seat back? Can you give me, whatever, give me something.
Yeah.
$200. Like, well, you still flew. That's the service that we provide. And I was like, wow.
They don't care. They know that they don't care.
End of story.
I meant to do this at the beginning. And again, if you're just tuning in, we're gonna get to who's the boss. We will get there. Get to who's the boss. We're gonna show a whole episode. We're gonna dissect it. We'll talk about all the nuances. Okay. I want to give you what's called a friendship quiz.
Oh yeah.
because I've known you for a long time, and
No, hold
it
on one
seemed
second. You can't be in here naked. You got it. Yeah, that's bad. You got to get out of here. Yeah, I can't.
I'm
I can't.
assuming
Yeah.
that's not June, right? That's not June.
It is. No, it is not June. But let me tell June one thing. Actually, as a matter of fact.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I do want to give you this friendship quiz because, earlier you asked about the improv show that I did without you, and you seem upset, and I just want to make sure that we're connected as friends, and so I want to give you this friendship quiz, also so I can learn more about you.
And by the way, just so you know, people know Tessa Howard, very excited. She's never seen Who's the Boss, so she's really looking forward to it.
Oh, Tessa, you're going to be so pleased. It's a sitcom with Tony Danza from the 80s, and we're going to explain it. You'll love it. But first, I'm going to give Paul this friendship quiz because we had a little rough spot, and I want to make sure.
Yeah, we did. We definitely, absolutely. What do you got
with us? Okay, first of all,
by the way, whenever we do a friendship quiz, I'm going to say I often do bad on them with you because I think I overthink it.
Well, these are just questions about you
okay.
for me to learn about you.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, number one, what is your favorite cereal? I've never asked you that. I don't.
Oh wow,
know.
that's really interesting, Rob. Well, I guess honestly, if sugar be damned, it's going to be corn pops. But honestly, like what I'm having in the house a lot is a Quaker toasted mini oats.
Toasted mini oats. Okay.
Yeah.
Or sugar corn pops. Okay.
No, do I ask you this? Do I go like, hey,
no. This is just for my general knowledge of you. Okay. What T-shirt do you currently own that is your favorite T-shirt? It can be, it could be.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I
actually really like this Larry Sanders Show crew shirt that I bought from Human Boy Worldwide, which is, it looks like what they would give out as like a Christmas gift on the Larry Sanders Show.
Okay, great. I'm learning so much about you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been arrested
and booked?
I mean, that's not part of the friendship quiz. It just says, have you been arrested? Like, it doesn't mean.
I guess the question is like, what is arrested?
I would say cuffed, detained by law enforcement for breaking the law.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Are you going to tell us what that was, or you don't want to talk about
it?
You don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. No. I mean, look, I recently got arrested within like the last couple of years in Washington D.C. with Jane Fonda for climate change.
Yes.
I did that, and then I also was arrested for like a little scuffle in Arizona, but not booked.
Wait.
I don't know if I could tell this story fully on air, but I'm glad to tell it to you.
You don't
privately.
have to. You don't have to. I don't think I know about that. See, that's what the friendship quiz. That's what the friendship quiz is all about.
Yeah.
Can I just ask in general about this scuffle?
Yeah, you can. It happened in Lake Havasu.
What? Oh, now I know. Now I know what time period this was.
Yeah, this is an early time period. I wasn't by myself, and I would say I was a part of a larger scuffle. It was a scuffle.
Were there jet skis involved?
There were not jet skis involved. There were no jet skis involved during the scuffle. It was at a bar in town, and I would say that they weren't real cuffs. They were plastic
zip ties.
Zip ties. Yeah,
that's even worse. By
the way, I guess the climate change one was zip ties as well.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. Those are still valid.
Jerry O and Adam Scott were not involved. Jerry O went home.
Okay, I'm learning a lot about you.
Yeah.
What was the worst injury you've ever had? Have you ever like broken a bone or?
Oh wow, huh? That's really interesting. What is the worst injury that I've ever had? I've never. Well, I got kicked by a horse.
Oh wow!
Got kicked by a horse. And And yeah, luckily it only sliced up my face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, that sounds bad. When's the? I'm almost done. I'm just learning a lot about you. When's the last time that you got too drunk?
Wow, that's a really great question. I was thinking about that the other day. All right, so June's dad, who has passed, amazing guy named John, was dating someone, and they were engaged. They actually had dated and they gotten engaged, and we went out as a family to kind of meet like this woman's kids. And June and her sister were both like pretty nervous about like this interaction. And I had a rule like after doing the league for so long that I would never do shots. I would never do fan shots. People always want to buy me a shot. And I'm like, I don't know, thank you. Thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
And so I made a rule that I would never do shots. But that night everyone was a little bit tense. And I did shots. I did shots at this bar to kind of loosen the mood. And I got pretty hammered. Like the first time these people met me, we were like went hard. And that was like the first, like that's like probably the most. I remember I was wearing someone else's hat and jacket, sitting around a toilet at the end of the night, just because I had gotten to that point.
Oh wow! So that's that's like blackout drunk.
Blackout drunk. Yeah.
I was kind of just going for a little,
just mildly drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, then last night.
No,
last night. Last night, 5 p.m. Put my kids down for sleep. Get in here. You're beautiful, kids. You're beautiful.
Okay. Couple more, and then and then that's it.
Okay.
What do you think would be a really cool way for you to die?
Oh man. Well, we talk about this a lot. Jet skiing into a large shark's mouth, but the jet ski has dynamite on it. So I am alive when I'm in that shark, but then the dynamite explodes the shark. I come out just torso, no legs, hands still on the thing, and then I basically go into a bridge, create like a multi-pronged traffic accident. No one's gonna get hurt. They're just all gonna spin out. And then I land on the other side. But when I land in the water, my hand's like this on the back of my head, like this. And I go, nice.
Jeez, you've really given that a lot of thought.
Yeah, try to.
I don't know if you're going to be able to pull that off, but okay. What celebrity would you agree to fight?
I think I would agree to fight if I could pick any celebrity. I'd probably pick young Sheldon.
I would pay so much money for that pay-per-view.
It would be he's a lovely kid, a lovely kid.
Man, by the way, my wife sent me a video of Jake Gyllenhaal doing the weigh-in.
Oh yeah,
I totally thought that was real. I was like, what he's doing? And then it came out like a day later that was just for a movie. But
you know what movie it's for?
Is it for Creed or like a Rocky
Roadhouse
movie?
baby?
Oh, Roadhouse.
They're remaking Roadhouse.
Man, why are they remaking Roadhouse? 2, why is Jake Gyllenhaal a part of that?
I need to tell you some other stuff offline on that one.
Okay, I want to hear
good.
about it.
Yeah, that's also really good.
So you would fight young Sheldon. What is the name of the
knife
actor? You would have a knife fight with young Sheldon on
to make it fair, because I'm bigger than him.
So he gets a knife or you get a knife?
I'll give him the knife, but then if he drops it, I could use it.
Okay. So it starts off, all right. And if you can somehow get the knife from him, you can use it.
Yeah. But he gets to start with it.
Okay. Do you know that actor's name?
Yeah, Ian Armitage.
Okay.
Lovely guy. Smart kid.
And you would fight him? with a knife.
I don't want to fight him. I don't want like this is somebody I don't want to fight.
Oh, you would just agree to for the money.
I mean, I guess I should fight somebody a little bit older. I mean, he's a couple of years different than me. He's 14, so he's a little bit younger than me. Just a couple of years younger.
You're 16.
Yeah, so I
Okay. Okay, I'm almost done.
All right, yeah, because I got some questions for you coming up.
Okay,
too.
this is all part of the friendship quiz.
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there right now that you think you should apologize to?
Anybody out there?
The guy you beat up in Arizona?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. You want me to apologize to you for something?
No, unless you feel like you should. I mean, I don't know.
What do I want to?
Maybe you don't have to. Like, the question is, and I wrote these questions. This isn't like from People Magazine. Is there anybody you would like to apologize to? It doesn't have to be me.
Anyone that I would want to apologize to? I mean, maybe I guess. Trying to think of the last time I really. I think I try to get in front of my regrets. I'm trying to think of like somebody that I haven't been able to do that with. I think that I would apologize to probably this kid. I think his name is K. Just that was all it was on his name tag. He worked at Jersey Mike's, and I said to him, I was like, that's the way you make a sandwich. And I said, you'll never work in this town again. I make hundreds of dollars a week.
This sounds a lot like the guy we just saw.
Well, I was showing you that to see if to kind of covertly ask if I was wrong for.
Well, all right, I would stop harassing people at Jersey Mike's. Okay, the last two are very important. These are the last two, and and you can, if you don't like the question, you can say I don't want to answer that.
Yeah,
but I'm just going to ask it. It's about your family. The first one's about your kids. If you were forced to choose one of your sons to launch into outer space, and
protected.
What do you mean protected?
Like in a spacesuit?
Yeah, not like on a catapult. Like, yeah, he's in like.
Okay, so I'm not like just tossing him into like a death zone.
Well, that's the thing. He's going in a little pod, and it'll be up to him to see if he could figure out how to get back to Earth. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
I'm putting him in like a little Superman pod.
Yeah.
I'm injecting him out there, but he's safe in that pod.
He's safe in that pod. He's got a toilet, unlike where he is right now. He's got a working toilet. He's got some Cliff Bars.
And I got to do it. I got to do this. You
have to. You have to. You lost the fight to young Sheldon, and
I'm gonna put my oldest son in that space pod because of one important reason.
Okay.
He can read. and I do feel like
he could read the instruction manual.
I feel like there's some version of that where where reading will come in. My youngest probably will be crying a lot.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
But I would like him to be able to read what the packages say, like air, food, toilet,
Okay. Okay. Last question, Paul, and you're doing great. And I want everybody watching this who paid for it. Again, if you're watching this for free, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
If you paid for this, I know you're enjoying this, and everybody loves this.
And it's a high ticket price, of course.
Yeah. If your wife was bitten by a zombie, God forbid, if she was bitten by a zombie, would you shoot her in the head? And she may see this stream, Paul. I don't know if she watches.
Yeah, I'd shoot my wife in the head. Gotta save my family, man.
Okay.
Or I would create a makeshift prison that she would live in, but I just feel like that. If I have that makeshift prison, then I'm just wrestling because, then probably one time she'd be like, rah, and then one of my kids would be like, oh, mommy. And then, eats them or turns them. And then I got two people there. And then I'm like, oh, brother, she's infected. She's no way to live. You know, I'm gonna do a quick Google search. I'll see if we can reverse infect. If you can't, we're in. You know.
Okay. Just so you know, all of the other questions were kind of bullshit questions. This was the only one I really cared about. This was
Would
the
I
one.
shoot? Wow.
And you said it. You said it live that you would do it. So you know, there's no.
I
going
have
back.
to.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you would. I mean, if she's infected, and look, I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope.
Well, I mean, you know, I really felt like I knew you were setting me up for something. I didn't know exactly what, and I didn't mean to admit that, but I think my wife would tell me. I'll tell you this much. Let me ask you the cabin in the wood question, or knock on the cabin, whatever that movie is.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so don't.
All right. So, well, you look, if you've seen the trailer or you've even looked at the poster, knock at the cabin asks a question.
Yeah.
You know, knock on the cabin, right?
Yeah.
Who is it? Hey, it's us. 3 weirdos.
Okay.
Wait,
from the movie Us, the Jordan
no, I don't want to.
You said Us.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, it's not us. It's them. So all right, knock on the cabin.
Yeah.
You open the door. It's me and 2 weirdo people. 3 other weirdo people. So it's 4 of us. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. World is ending.
Yeah.
Rob. I'll look at you. I'll look at your beautiful wife. I'll look at your beautiful child.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, one of you has got to go.
Yeah. Wait.
One of you's got to go.
Can one of us be me?
Hold on.
I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay. But you
they would have to kill me.
Well, that's what I thought. But okay, what were you gonna say? You say it was gonna be you, right?
I mean, I was gonna say I would let them kill me, but
you just have to do it yourself. You have to kill yourself. That's I think the trick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd probably kill myself. I'd let them live. They have more to live for. I've had a great life. I've had an awesome life.
You got to do great improv shows with me and everything like that. Yeah.
Well, you know, Tim Simons. I got to do a great improv show with Tim Simons. And,
well, you know, this is so funny because we watched a trailer for Knock at the Cabin in the theater.
Yeah.
And you know, they go like, one of you must sacrifice for the world. And I just turned to June and I was like, oh, I would do that. I would kill myself. Like, because the thought of it being my kids, I can't do that. And I would never want to put, you know, like it would stink, obviously, but you got to do it. You got to, and you would have thought I said the most romantic thing ever to June, that I really just jumped in and just like offered to off myself. But it seems like it's a flawed, concept. Because like, well, yeah, I would protect my family. But then June was like, phew, because I wasn't going to do it. And I was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, wow.
Well, now I don't feel bad about what you said about the zombie thing.
Yeah.
Now let me just go back to the zombie thing for a second, and then we can get to who's the boss. But your first instinct was to build some sort of like jail in your house?
No, my first instinct was to shoot her in the head after a cursory Google search to find out whether or not you could reverse the effects of zombiehood.
Okay. So you would Google that and then you would probably kill her. But and the reason you wouldn't build the jail inside your house, one, there's a plumbing problem. So
I've seen the shows. I see how it works. You keep one of these zombies around because you have a personal attachment to them, and then what happens? One day they break through the chains. One day you get a little bit tired when you're throwing down some flesh for them to eat, or your kids fall victim to them. I can tell you unequivocally, Rob, that building a jail cell for a loved one who has turned to be a zombie is not safe. And this is what I'm going to run on. When the apocalypse happens, I'm going to be the candidate who says, hey guys, I know it stinks. Your loved one is a zombie. You can't build a baby prison for him. I don't care how much you love them. They're not coming back. We got to shoot them in the head.
That's your platform.
That's my platform. Similar to my grandmother's platform. My grandmother lived out in the Hamptons before the Hamptons became cool and hip. And they had a tremendous deer problem. The deer problem brought a tremendous tick problem. And my grandma was parking her car, and the news crew ran up to her. And this is in New York. So it's a highly watched local news program, and they say, how would you fix the deer problem? And my grandma looked down the barrel of that camera without blinking an eye and said, I would round them all up, and I'd get a sharpshooter to shoot them in the head. And that's what my grandmother said that she would do to take care of the deer population. And then for years after, she was harassed by this woman who wore an outfit that looked like she was a human deer, and she spoke for the deer. And she's always like, and Catherine, and she would say her full name. I do not like her. Do not like Catherine. So my grandmother was harassed for many years by a woman in a deer costume.
I wish that we could find that clip on YouTube. That would be
I
great.
wish. I mean, I wish I had it. I still have the video clip of my mom driving into the Burger King, but I don't have that one. I feel like it was a little bit before my time.
And just for people that are just tuning in that may not know the story of your mom driving through the Burger King, what just give us the bullet points. What
really,
happened?
bullet points. My mom got her car washed. She claims they waxed her gas pedal,
the accelerator,
and made her drive in. Not that she was reaching for her wallet and her foot slipped off the brake and onto the gas. That didn't happen. But she did do that and knocked a kid, out of his seat, similarly to the way I was knocked out of my seat.
Crashed into a Burger
Yes,
King.
but she crashed into the brick part of a Burger King, so she did more damage to her own car than she did to the Burger King, thankfully.
Okay.
Rob, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, thank you.
What was your favorite toy that you had growing up?
Oh my gosh. Like toy or like sex?
Yeah, what was your favorite? Well, no, not growing up toy.
Okay, because we live next door to a factory that made.
You had that giant dildo factory, right? Or was it a dildo or a pocket pussy factory?
It was both. They made dildos and pocket pussies.
Dildos on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and pocket pussies on Tuesday, Thursdays because it's less demand, I guess.
Yeah. Let me see. My favorite toy. There used to be these toys. I mean, I'm so much older than everyone else on the internet right now, but there used to be these toys called. They were like little guys. They were called the Adventure People, and they were just like little action-y figures, but they were very generic. It wasn't like G.I. Joe or anything like that. It was just these.
Did they look like Weeble Wobbles or like what did they?
No, they look like real people. They had like movable arms and legs and stuff like that. And, you could buy different sets, and they just had like cool shit. They had like Jeeps and motorcycles, and you could buy all the shit that they had. And like different vehicles and different guys, and they had like canoes, and it was all like these outdoor guys.
These guys,
yeah, yes,
they look pretty cool to me.
Yeah, and so me and my brothers would play with these guys in the backyard, and we always
look at this cowboy and the guy in a full swimsuit.
That's Burt Reynolds. Yeah, but so you could acquire all of their different stuff, different cars, and it was at the age where I remember having very long conversations with my brothers about how when we grew up, we were all gonna have like all of these vehicles. We were like, oh man, when I get older, I'm gonna have a Jeep. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a boat. I'm gonna have a plane. I'm gonna have there's the Jeep. I'm gonna have a motorcycle. So I was convinced that I was gonna, whatever I had to do to make enough money to get all of these vehicles.
The toys or the actual ones in real life.
No, I thought that as a grown-up, I would just, in my life, I would then become a guy who would own all of these vehicles. I didn't think about like insurance or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. I like. All right, this is good. This is good. I'm getting to know you now. I have another question. These are the questions I wrote too. Okay,
we're really getting to know each other.
We're really getting to know each other here. All right, so what's something you want to try but you've been too afraid to?
Ooh, great question. This is gonna this sounds like the Adventure People. I want to try base jumping. I want to like skydive off of a thing.
Whoa.
I started following this group on Instagram called like tandem base jump or something like that, and they're in Moab, Utah, which isn't that far away from us, and
Yeah.
they just jump off cliffs, but they do it, with someone strapped
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
back. So in their videos, they, you walk up to the fucking edge of a cliff,
Whoa.
and then they just count you down, and you jump with the guy on your back. It's only like
yeah.
2-second free fall or whatever, but they're jumping, like they're base jumping into like a giant canyon, which looks really cool. And I kind of want to do that.
I don't know. I don't know if this is similar, but I ran off a mountain with a parachute one time.
Wow. Yeah, that's like paragliding, probably.
Paragliding, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But base jumping, you're going down. Like
base jumping, you just go down, for a couple seconds, and then you do the thing.
Okay, well, that's all right. I like that.
I don't know that because now I have a child, I don't know that I will do it. If I do it, I don't think I'll tell. Maybe I'll do it while I'm in Canada. I wonder if I could figure out a place to go do that in Canada.
Oh yeah, you should. Well, by the way, the worst thing I ever did, was, I had gotten a movie in Canada where you're shooting, and there's a beautiful park nearby, right? Like
I just walked through it today. Yeah,
it's amazing, and so they have zip lining there.
Oh,
and I was like, I'm gonna do like the zip lining tour. It's really fun, and because I had off days, I didn't have, there was nothing for me to do.
Yeah, totally.
At that point, my wife was home with our first child, and she was having a particularly rough day, and I kept on like sending her pictures of me zip lining around that beautiful forest by myself, like on my own adventure. And I realized this is a very important thing. I think we both have realized this. Never tell your partner about all the good times that you're having when they are home alone with a child.
Ever.
Yeah,
my wife
never do that.
My wife will say to me, if I'm like off, like today I was off. I wasn't shooting today. And my wife says, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm getting up at 6. I'm going to the gym, and then I got to do some writing. Like I come up with,
you gotta plan a day. Yeah. You can never be like,
I can't say, I'm going to sleep until 8 o'clock. I mean, now like I can't sleep late. I'm so used to waking up.
No, I know that's out the window.
But you can't say, well, I'm going to go get some coffee and walk around. I'm going to go walk through Stanley Park, which is what I did today and had a great day. But like, you can't say that. I have to say, well, I'm going to go give some bone marrow. And then after that, I'm going to go and, I have a fitting, you come up with, it's basically, I guess it's lies. It is lying.
I don't give any specifics. I just go, I don't talk about when I'm off. I don't talk about when I'm shooting.
Smart.
Because the less information, the better.